For decades, Gloria Gaither and her husband Bill haven't just sung gospel music. They have authored its very soul. They are the poets whose songs carry the weight of eternal faith and the stunning beauty of human verse. But now, in a moment that has sent a tremor through the world of Christian music, the once unshakable voice of Gloria, strong and comforting, is trembling with raw emotion in a recent tear-filled and utterly profound message. She wasn't just walking away from a stage. She was bidding a tender, spiritual farewell to the millions of devoted hearts she touched. Fans across the globe are bracing themselves for what is undeniably one of the most significant and emotional moments in gospel history. The lights are dimming, the applause is fading, and behind the spectacle, a deeply personal whispered truth has led to this bittersweet final chapter. What truly transpired in the quiet moments behind the scenes that brought Gloria Gaither to this breathtaking, heartfelt declaration of rest? For 50 years, Gloria has been far more than just Bill Gaither's wife. She is the singular lyrical architect of the most powerful and enduring Christian anthems ever penned. Her genius has inspired generations, crafting timeless messages of hope, unshakable faith, and spiritual resurrection. Through her sheer poetic brilliance, she didn't just co-write hundreds of Gaither classics. She breathed a living soul into their melodies, crafting verses that stirred hearts and defined a genre worldwide. Now at 82, Gloria has delivered a touching message that signals a deliberate sacred shift. In a recent, deeply moving video released by the Gaither Music Group, she poured out immense gratitude to her faithful audience for their prayers, their profound love, and the unwavering support that sustained her monumental journey. With a voice softened not by weakness, but by a flood of emotion, Gloria began her message by describing a gentle, undeniable tug on her heart, a divine whisper, confirming that it was time to move into a quieter, more reflective chapter of her life. Though she refused the finality of the word retirement, the message was crystal clear. She is surrendering the public performances and the demands of massive events. Her new focus is family, profound writing, deep spiritual reflection, and the quiet, peaceful existence that stands in stark, beautiful contrast to the unrelenting whirlwind of tours, concerts, and ministry that has consumed her life for decades. Gloria Sickle, born on March 4, 1942 in Michigan, came from a bedrock of deep Christian faith and rich intellectual values. Her childhood was a crucible of love, serious education, boundless literature, and music. The very elements that would later shape her entire eloquent worldview. Even as a child, Gloria possessed an extraordinary gift for language. She devoured poetry, authored eloquent essays, and understood the explosive power of words. She pursued this passion at Anderson University, a Christian college in Indiana, where she studied English, nurturing the intellectual and spiritual foundations that would underpin her historic songwriting and ministry. It was at Anderson that Gloria met a dynamic young music teacher, Bill Gaither. What started as a professional collaboration soon ignited into an undeniable spiritual connection. Bill was already on his musical path with the Bill Gaither Trio. But when Gloria entered his life, the trajectory of Christian music changed forever. Their shared devotion to faith and their creative fire fused them into a partnership that was destined to redefine their genre. They married in 1962, forging a creative and romantic alliance for the ages. While Bill launched his full-time music career, Gloria dedicated herself to teaching English at Alexandria High School. But a gift of her magnitude could not be contained. Her exquisite poetic sensitivity and raw emotional depth began to shape the trio's sound. Bill would compose the unforgettable melodies, and Gloria, the true linguistic genius, would breathe eternal life into them with heartfelt lyrics that instantly resonated with millions. One of their most iconic works, Because He Lives, was born not in comfort, but out of a storm. The late 1962 seconds were a period of national agony, Vietnam, civil unrest, and societal fracture. While anticipating their third child, Gloria and Bill were consumed by a visceral fear about the world their baby would inherit. Bill was physically and emotionally spent from touring, and Gloria's heart was heavy with existential worry. In the absolute eye of that storm of doubt, Gloria did the only thing she knew. She turned inward to prayer. In the subsequent profound stillness, a divine peace and renewed fierce trust in God's promise descended upon her. It was in that moment of surrender that the monumental words of "Because He Lives" began to flow. The lyrics, forged in the heat of pain and unwavering faith, became an immediate lifeline for millions. Released in 1971, the song exploded worldwide not merely as a hymn, but as a thundering testimony of hope in the most uncertain of times. This song was the turning point. It transformed Gloria's standing within the Gaither legacy. She stepped out of the shadow of quiet partner to be recognized as one of the most profound essential voices in Christian songwriting. A woman whose words could reach the deepest, most guarded corners of the human spirit. Despite monumental fame, Gloria remained radically grounded, writing not just hit songs, but deeply spiritual devotionals, books, and essays filled with penetrating insight and boundless compassion. Together, she and Bill penned over 700 songs that are still sung in churches globally today. The secret to Gloria's power was her unique gift for fusing sophisticated theology with raw, relatable human emotion. She wrote not from a distant pedestal, but from the messy, beautiful trenches of life, capturing the joys, the doubts, the sorrows, and the triumphs of everyday existence. Her lyrics spoke of motherhood, of enduring faith during hard times, and of the deep complexity of love and loss. From the 1970 seconds onward, as the Gaither vocal band rose to prominence, and the iconic Homecoming series became a worldwide phenomenon, Gloria's invisible influence shaped every note and every soul-stirring moment. Even without holding the microphone, her voice, her soul was heard in every lyric, every heartfelt prayer, and every moment that brought listeners to their knees. She evolved into a profound mentor for younger Christian artists and a sought-after speaker at women's conferences. With her serene wisdom and deeply reflective style, Gloria became a beacon in a male-dominated field. She was not merely a writer. She was a philosopher, an informal theologian, and a mother who understood the heartbreaking beauty and profound complexity of a life of faith. As the Gaither legacy exploded, Gloria's quiet strength remained the unshakable guiding force. Through her work, she redefined women's ministry, not through showmanship, but through the sheer power of truth and radical authenticity. Her lyrics carried not just music, but profound meaning. Fusing theological depth with emotional honesty, she transformed complex biblical truths into simple yet breathtaking stories of grace, redemption, and hope. Journeys from the spirit of faith that felt both intensely human and intensely divine. Beyond her songs, Gloria became a quiet spiritual guide to countless women, helping them navigate faith, motherhood, and identity. Her writings offered comfort and crystalline clarity to those facing life's daily battles. She never pretended to possess all the answers. Instead, she humbly guided others toward the source of all truth. Her humility and grace have inspired generations, ensuring her legacy continues to shape the faith of millions globally. Now, as Gloria Gaither embraces this profound, quieter season, she leaves behind not just a catalog of beloved songs, but a towering legacy of wisdom, faith, and unconditional love. Her journey from a small-town English teacher to one of the most revered voices in gospel music reminds us that true enduring greatness is not found in fame, but in faithfulness, and that a life lived in devotion will echo long after the music has ceased. Gloria's life and legacy were never a chase for the spotlight, but a commitment to selfless service through music, love, and quiet determination. Alongside Bill, she established foundational projects like the Gaither Homecoming Bible and the Gaither Family Resources Center, initiatives that inspired and nurtured countless souls. Through these efforts, she fiercely championed younger gospel artists, especially women, helping them find their authentic voice in an industry that often prioritized image over sincerity. Gloria became a role model not just for her talent, but for the purity of her soul. While others chased attention, she remained deeply anchored to her mission. As she once beautifully articulated, "We didn't set out to be stars. We set out to be faithful." That promise has defined every single moment. Every song Gloria Gaither wrote carried a piece of her personal journey, her silent struggles, and her profound understanding of what faith truly means. She never sought the spotlight. Yet her quiet, centered presence commanded immense respect. Those who spent even a single moment with her often spoke of the deep, immediate wisdom she radiated. Her faith wasn't something she performed. It was something she lived, tested, and refined through the real, raw experiences of both profound joy and crushing hardship. Her truest ministry wasn't on the stage. It was in the way she navigated each day. Friends describe a soul who listened deeply, pondered profoundly, and brought immediate peace wherever she went. She offered calm in the midst of chaos and quiet wisdom in difficult conversations. As a wife, Gloria was the unwavering anchor. Over their 6-decade marriage, she and Bill functioned not just as musical partners, but as absolute soulmates. Life on the road was grueling. Raising 3 children while running a massive ministry and meeting endless expectations required monumental patience and strength. Yet, Gloria maintained a remarkable grace. She perfectly balanced her roles as mother, mentor, and creator, often writing late into the night only after her children were safely asleep. Through walks and intentional conversations, she instilled in them not only faith but essential lessons of kindness, honesty, and compassion. As a friend, her wisdom and generosity were legendary. She guided a multitude of pastors, writers, and artists, many of whom credit her with fundamentally changing their spiritual missions. Her profound uniqueness lay in her ability to instantly recognize the gifts in others and nurture them with fierce love. She built essential bridges between generations, connecting the rich, deep traditions of gospel music's past with its ever-evolving present. Her spirituality was resilient enough to hold both absolute certainty and honest doubt, proving that true faith does not flee from the complexities of life. It embraces them fully. Gloria's life stands as a stunning, quiet example of what authentic greatness means. She reminded the world that fame is not the metric of success. Faithfulness is, that a song's power flows directly from the depth of the person who writes it, and that helping others is the purest form of leadership. Though she has deliberately stepped away from the spotlight, her monumental legacy endures woven through her music, her powerful books and the countless lives she touched. Her songs will continue to echo in houses of worship, in private homes, and in the stillness of hospital rooms, offering comfort to generations yet to come. For Gloria, her family was always her first and most sacred calling. Behind every book, every lyric, and every electrifying performance, there was a home overflowing with prayer, laughter, and music. She and Bill raised 3 children, Suzanne, Amy, and Benjamin, each of whom inherited her faith and boundless creativity. Suzanne, the eldest, became instrumental in the family mission, co-writing powerful songs with her mother. Amy, their middle child, followed her artistic spirit into poetry and teaching, often citing her mother as the ultimate inspiration for her love of language. Their youngest, Ben, became a producer and musician, continuing their message through modern forms of gospel expression. All 3 speak of Gloria not just as a loving mother, but as a gentle, unwavering guide who led only by example. They cherish her patience during tours, her late-night writing vigil, and her ability to transform simple daily moments into spiritual lessons. Recently, Gloria declared her sincere desire to slow down and embrace profound peace. Her family, though emotional, supports her decision with absolute sincerity. After decades of relentless service through words, music, and faith, her new desire is to listen, reflect, and simply be. Bill Gaither in a beautifully heartfelt interview expressed both immense pride and deep tenderness for his wife's choice, saying, "Gloria